Welcome to Pharaoh, a new era, remake of the cult classic game Pharaoh and its extension, Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile. Set in ancient Egypt, Pharaoh is a very special city builder with many unique features and mechanics that make it one of the most beloved games of the genre. Its 53 missions will give you a unique opportunity to relive historical moments of the Egyptian Empire, each one bringing new challenges and making you not just build cities, but solve puzzles too. In this video, you will learn more about what makes this title so unique and beautiful. We are now at the Salima Oasis, during the Old Kingdom period, also known as the Age of the Pyramids, which lasted from 2700 BC to 2200 BC. In this mission, the Pharaoh Nebka has asked you to secure the local trade routes by establishing a military post to help ensure safe travel of goods and prosperity for his kingdom. In the Salima mission, we first need to bring workers to the area and begin the creation of our city. Citizens are key in creating a beautiful and prosperous city, and offering them proper housing is an important first step. So let's start by building some houses. Attracting new citizens is not cheap, and you will need resources to grow your city. Let's gather some wood first. These palm trees will do wonderfully. Resources can be found on the map, like wood, but some others must be gathered by alternative means. Thankfully, the Kingdom Road will help you trade goods with nearby cities to obtain what you need. Let's trade some more wood with the neighboring city of Badet, and because Pharaoh desires it, some ebony with the city of Kerma. In Pharaoh, a new era, we have completely redesigned the UI of the original game in order to improve the user experience and the management of cities. You will now have a better view of your city, along with a simpler process for choosing and managing its buildings. Plus, you can now copy-paste them for even faster management. Pharaoh, a new era, offers brand new high-resolution graphics with incredible detail. Each building was redrawn by hand, and every aspect has been carefully evaluated by a certified Egyptologist to ensure the game's historical accuracy. As you will see later in this video, the economy is a key component of your city's management, not just for building your city and feeding its citizens, but also for developing your power. In the process of creating a thriving metropolis whose prosperity pleases Pharaoh, you must also be careful not to infuriate the gods. If you forget them, you will assuredly feel their wrath. You can avoid this unfortunate predicament by building temples in the god's honor. Why don't we build a temple for Seth, the god of deserts and disorder, and make sure we are on his good side? When this temple is complete, he will grant our soldiers his protection, which is quite useful when facing enemy invasions. Pharaoh's desire is vitally important, and as his architect, it's your job to please him. However, it is the people who are the true center of Pharaoh, a new era, and in order to grow your city and attract more of them, you need to maximize its desirability. After all, ensuring a strong quality of life for the people is critical for their well-being and your popularity. Let's upgrade your citizens' houses by not only bringing in more food, but also by creating gardens and entertainment with dancers, jugglers, and musicians. These upgrades ensure a better living environment and happier people. As we've already seen, Pharaoh, a new era, is not just about building, it is also about managing people. It is important to diligently monitor the city's unemployment rate and the workers' salaries so that you always have the right balance for optimum growth. Speaking of which, it appears we are in dire need of more workers, but our city as currently constituted isn't big enough to accommodate them. Let's remedy this by building a new neighborhood and including all the commodities we've discussed earlier. The more your city grows and thrives, the more likely it is that problems occur. Fires might appear, and buildings might collapse. And to protect against such calamities, it's important to build administrative buildings such as a fire department and a police station. Let's build these in our new neighborhood, and while we're at it, let's also throw in a couple of temples to Ra and Seth. One must not forget to keep the gods pleased, after all. With our city becoming more and more prosperous, it is easy to forget that Pharaoh gave us a mission: raise an army to protect the trade routes. This is especially important now, as the city of Kerma is under siege. Let's build an archery fort and a recruiting lodge so we can recruit soldiers. We will need an infantry camp too. Building an army costs a lot of money, and it appears we need more resources to achieve Pharaoh's goal. This means we have to increase our city's revenues. Trade is a good start, but we can also build a palace. Palaces are great for collecting taxes and boosting our city's economy. While we're raising funds for the new army, let's continue developing our city and make it even more appealing. And in no time at all, voila! We have enough soldiers to meet the requirements of Pharaoh's mission and can deploy them to protect our trading partners and ensure the security of the region. Mission accomplished. You have built a military outpost and raised an army, and the trade routes are now protected. Pharaoh is pleased, and so too are his people and the gods. Your city is thriving, and you can continue writing your own rich history of ancient Egypt. In this video, we've barely scratched the surface of what Pharaoh, a new era, has to offer. Across more than 50 missions and hundreds of hours of gameplay, you will be called upon to grow your kingdom, face the elements such as the flooding of the Nile, war with your enemies, and endure the fury of the gods and the plagues of Egypt. You will have to create an empire to rule over several millennia and build the marvelous pyramids that endure until the end of time. Only through such grand accomplishments will the legacy of a civilization be ensured.